Hello, YouTube. It is I, the special grade sorcerer of the anime manga sphere, SSJA Cody, and today I'm going to talk to you about why Kozuki Oden is the best character in One Piece. What do you mean Luffy and Roger aren't the best characters? What do you mean Zoro's not your favorite? What do you mean Mihawk's not the strongest? What do you mean you don't like Shanks? Hold on, guys. Listen. Oden is one of the most impactful characters in all of One Piece, and I think that his journey, charisma, and sacrifice are what truly make him unforgettable. I think he is one of the great characters because of he's he's really strong. He's one of the fearless leaders of the Kozuki Nine. The the Kozuki Nine. I can't believe I called them that. They're the Samurai Nine of Wano. Come on now. And the tragic end of his character really make what him, I think, to be the best character, my favorite character in all of One Piece. From a young age, Oden had always been about getting into business, getting down to the nitty gritty, and letting you know he was about that life. Oden was always ready to freaking tussle with the biggest and baddest of everything, whether it was men, boars, women. He was just ready to do everything. But even though he was challenging everything that came to him at Wano, his desire to see the world and see what was so different about the outside is what really encapsulates One Piece. He wanted to see the world. He wanted to have a journey, have an adventure. And I think that that's something that a lot of characters in One Piece and a lot of people can agree that I think the adventure in One Piece is one of the best things about the series. It's almost like a microcosm of what One Piece encapsulates himself, and that can be no better explained than when he first journeyed on Whitebeard and Roger's ship. And let's just talk about that for real, for real. He's one of the few fucking people in the entire world who got to serve under the strongest man in the world and the king of the pirates, and he didn't serve under them. I'm sorry to misframe that. Whitebeard called him a brother. That's crazy. When Roger fucking swiped him with the same move Shanks used to one-shot Kid, he just went through some trees. Oden got back and he was like, oh, I'm gonna get that dude. Him and Roger were freaking buddies. They sailed together throughout the entire world. And Oden is literally the reason that Oden is the reason I feel that we got to see Roger for the first time truly in the story. When we were on Wano and coming up on Act 3, I think it was that really long flashback we had right before sailing to Onigashima. And I remember a lot of people were like, why are we getting a flashback here? Why are we getting a flashback on Oden's life? And it wasn't until about halfway through the flashback that we finally got to see in the manga for his debut the first time ever because of Oden's journal. Gold D. Roger. Kozuki Oden is the reason we got to see Gold D. Roger's debut in the manga. Yeah, it would have come up sooner or later, but you can't deny that the first time it debuted, we saw him with his eyes cut. No, man. The first time we had Roger as an actual character fleshed out on panels doing things was in that flashback. And we had him for an extended amount of time because Oden chose to travel with him. That's got to speak volumes to how freaking cool Oden is. And Oden was a true leader because if we remember, after getting the reaction that he had at Laugh Tale, what did he do? Well, someone want to remind. Oh, you don't have to remind me. He went back to Wano to lead his people and freaking uncover the world's secrets. Now, did he? He was able to freaking Kaido. That's a pretty big feat. Oh, well, Kaido got beat by Luffy. Okay, but it wasn't just Luffy. Kaido also fought the Nine Scabbards. Kaido also fought Big Mom a couple days prior. Kaido also had tussled with Kid, Law, Zoro, Killer. Oden was able to do that just by himself, and he scarred Kaido. He was, but he wasn't doing it for himself. He was doing it to free and liberate Wano. And even when he was given the option to die for it, he said he'd rather dance for years and make a fool of himself to protect Wano. Oden wouldn't. Oden's selflessness to be able to let himself be mischaracterized for so many years just to end up being Wano's savior at its final hours because of the sacrifice he made to die to send the nine red scabbards. I got it. But Oden's sacrifice in being boiled for over an hour in oil, holding his people alive, the same people that would go forward in the future 20 years to be able to bring Joy Boy to the land of Wano, to liberate it, to awaken to the godhood we needed for One Piece to be on the field that it is. Oden is literally the linchpin in what is this long-lasting tale. Without Oden, Roger wouldn't have been able to read the poneglyphs. Without Oden, there wouldn't have been without Oden, we wouldn't have had our debut to Roger. Without Oden, we wouldn't have had our freaking clash of hockey between Whitebeard and Roger. We wouldn't have the scaling that we do today that like we're able to use for swordsmen all over the world. Odin's literally like just the GOAT. I don't think there's any other like better way to say it. Like even Momo and Kinemon are still influenced by him, and to this day, all of Wano's rebellion happened because of him. His connections to the Void Century, he was able to. He's one of the Kozuki, able to connect, talk to Zunisha. I don't think he could talk to Zunisha. Maybe he could have. I don't remember if he could actually talk to Zunisha. Maybe I'll have to make another video on that. But if we also were to talk about one of the most influential points on why Oden is so great, let's talk about the other Kozuki Oden of the series. That's right, Yamamoto, the second Kozuki Oden. We wouldn't have Yamamoto and everything that their characters stand for and is going through on the cover stories right now in One Piece if it wasn't for Oden. And I feel like a lot of us, for as much as we, well, not me, but I feel like the fandom doesn't really take appreciation of the fact of what Oden gave us with his flashback and what his character continues to give us in this current day of One Piece. He embodies everything about One Piece that makes it great. The adventure, loyalty, sacrifice, and the never-ending quest to be free. He was a man ahead of his time who even sent his own men ahead of time to get to where they needed to be in order to free the world. And if there's any character who represents the true spirit, the true essence of One Piece, I truly believe it's Kozuki Oden. But if you guys think it's another character, why don't you let me know who it is down there in the comments? And thank you all for watching. Have a great day.